In this video, I'm going to talk about why most gyms and fitness studios struggle to get past $30,000 a month. So this is for you if you're running a large group training studio, semi-private or personal training boutique studios, and why we tend to always see that ceiling at 30K. So it's pretty straightforward. I'll get straight into it. What I've seen after growing 25 gyms of my own and helping gym owners all over the world is that in stage one, we call this the early growth. And that means that you're probably relying on organic marketing, referrals, and word of mouth to grow the gym. And if you have 10, 20, 30 clients, this works because you can still grow and your churn, the number of clients that cancel each month, is still very low. So for example, you might do a bunch of organic posting, get some referrals, get some lucky word of mouth, and maybe you get 3 new clients in a month. And maybe you only lose 1 client to churn. So that would mean you have a +2 net growth. This is when you're kind of at 10 to 30 clients for most people. And so you can see a very steady but slow growth. I went through this as well in my very first studio about 12 years ago. And this is what I was doing, hustling all day to maybe grow by 3 clients. The problem was, though, if you had 1 bad month and maybe you happened to not get any new clients and maybe 3 or 4 of your clients left, particularly like in the summer months or at Christmas time, it could undo 2 or 3 months of growth and you'd be right back where you started from. So the income just tends to plateau at this point. So you want to get out of that stage as soon as possible. What happens then is most gyms will end up then at around about 50 to 70 clients and they hit the next big wall. And this is where that 30K a month plateau really kicks in. You see, at this point, something changes. After you reach 50 clients, then if you still have a churn rate of around 10%, which is the average studio at this point has about a 10% churn rate, meaning for every 10 clients you have, 1 of them is going to leave every month. And now, because we're dealing with a bigger number, that 10% churn is pretty damaging. Because now, let's say you grow by 10%, you get 5 new clients a month signed up, great. But you might also then lose 5 to 7 clients to churn at the same time. And then you're back at 0 net growth. This is the exact plateau that most gyms find themselves. And what's happened is your churn has caught up with your acquisition. So you always have to look at which is outpacing which, churn or acquisition. And then what happens is when gym owners get stuck at this point, they end up trying to do more of what got them here. So they just post more content, they try and go viral, they ask for more referrals, they think they have to build a personal brand, they start reaching out and doing local partnerships and joint ventures. And, those things can help, of course, but they're never going to give you enough speed and sales velocity to predictably get enough clients so that you can outgrow the churn rate, right? The real breakthrough at this point is the gyms that break through this plateau, they add an entire different strategy in. And that is going to be a paid ads client acquisition system. This is the breakthrough strategy, all right? Because a paid ad system is going to be the only channel you can use where your acquisition is going to exceed your churn rate. All right. And that's the central theme I want you to remember of this. So it all starts with paid ads on Meta, Facebook, Instagram, maybe Google ads. You're going to use those ads to get qualified leads. Then you're going to book those leads in on your calendar for an appointment at the gym. And then you can easily be closing sales. We typically close 3 to 5 new client sales every single week like this, and we're charging about $500 to $800 for that first sale. So instead of then waiting on referrals or organic, we know exactly how many leads we need every single week. For us, it's about 30 to 50 leads a week. And with 30 to 50 leads, we're going to convert roughly 1 out of 10 into a sale. So to get 3 to 5 new sales, we know we just need to get 30 to 50 leads every week. So now our growth rate is, or our acquisition rate is going to be 3 to 5 new clients a week, or about 12 to 20 per month. And again, what I've seen growing dozens of gyms of my own is that this is about the metric you need. This is the level of sales velocity or momentum that you need for your growth to outpace churn. So if you're growing by 20 new clients a week, even if you lose 10 clients to churn, you still have a net of 10 more than you had. Of course, you need to look at your churn rate, and we also do bring our churn rate down to about 3%, but that's a topic for a different video. The first thing you want to make sure is you get your acquisition up. You're growing by 3 to 5 new clients a week consistently through paid ads. Paid ads are the only channel that's going to get you there. And then at that time, you start bringing down your churn rate. And that's how we hit 100 plus clients in studios and scale well past 30,000 a month. In fact, with our $1 million studio model, which again is another video I can link here for you, you're going to see how we take small studios that have about 2,000 square feet maximum space, and we can generate $1 million a year from about 150 clients. So that's the model we run like clockwork, on repeat, over and over again. We've built a franchise doing it, and we know that model works. So 3 numbers you want to look at ultimately is every single month we do a simple diagnostic. What is your acquisition rate or your growth rate? That means how many new clients are coming into your gym every month on average. I would say that number needs to be 15 to 20 minimum if you want to see sustainable growth. The second question you want to ask is, what is your average client value? So how much is each of your average clients paying? And is it enough to make sure you can liquidate your ad spend within a few days? And the third question then is your churn rate. How many average clients month on month are you losing to churn? The average is about 10%. So you want to work that down to about 3 to 5%. So if you get churn down to 3 to 5%, you're also getting 10 to 20 new sales through the door each month. You're going to have net subscriber growth month on month, and you're probably going to grow by at least 60 clients recurring every year. And if those clients are paying an average of $350 a month, you've added about $21,000 in monthly recurring revenue every year to your business.